What is it like to actually own a house in Las Vegas? Is it different than other places? Is it different than where you live now? Are you renting right now and thinking about buying a house? And you want to know what are some of the things you might not have thought about? Well, that's what I want to talk to you about in this video. Because wherever you go, there are going to be different things that you need to know about owning a house. And the neighborhood and the city that you select and the state you select and the part of the country you select is going to mean something when you are worried or excited and you're about to jump in, but you didn't think about a few additional things like, hey, what's it like owning a house here? And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. What it's like owning a house in Las Vegas, Nevada. Are you ready to join me as I stroll once again through this beautiful trail here in Vegas? All right, sit down and let's go. Hey everybody, it's your host here once again, Dave Baker with VegasAgents.com. Now, if you're ready to learn everything about what it's like to live in Vegas, what it's like to live here, work here, eat here, sleep here, play here, get outdoors here, well, then you've got to tap that little subscribe button and click that little bell so you'll be notified every time I put out a new Vegas video just for you. Okay, now, if you're thinking about moving out to Las Vegas, whether you know where you want to live, what kind of house you want, or are just getting started, then I want you to reach out to me. All you have to do is send me a text message, send me an email, give me a call, or click on the link in the description so you can get on the calendar and we can start talking about you living here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, so today I'm going to walk with you through the Fox Hills Park pathway that goes through Summerlin, which is a great neighborhood here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay, so what was I talking about in the intro? What I want to talk to you about is what it's like to live in Las Vegas. What are some of the things you need to think about when dealing with a house? Okay, well, let's talk about number one, cooling your home in the summer. If you're coming from somewhere that's not warm and perhaps it's cold, like the East Coast, if you're moving from Pennsylvania to Las Vegas or New York, well, those places get cold in the winter and you have a different concern there. But here in Las Vegas, we are concerned with the summers. The summers are a big deal here. Some people tell me they love it. I don't understand it because when it gets over 100 degrees, I don't see how they can love it. But I guess everyone has their own preference, right? So let's talk about cooling your house. There is a decent chance that you will have a home with more than one air conditioner. I've seen homes with 4 air conditioners. Those are 5,000 square foot houses, but imagine if you have a 2,200 square foot house. You might need 2 air conditioners to cool it, even if it's just 1 story. That's right, I don't just mean a downstairs and an upstairs air conditioner. You might need 2 air conditioners for a 1-story house because it gets really hot here in the summer. Is it always over 100 degrees? No, of course not. But it does get over 100 degrees and it can be warm in the evening. So you probably won't even be able to sleep without your air conditioner running. The other thing to remember is you often have to run your air conditioner even if you're not home. Let me say that one more time. In the summer, you probably will have to run your air conditioner even if you're not at home because you don't want to cause damage to your house. Things can crack, you can have problems with paint, cabinetry. There are all kinds of things that you have to be aware of with the heat. So that's one major aspect of owning a house here. We don't have snow, although to be fair, it has snowed in Las Vegas, but we don't have snow days where you don't go to work or school. If you live over on Mount Charleston, sure, it's more likely that you'll have snow, but that's not a common concern. So I wanted to talk to you about that first thing. Next thing will be item number 2, maintenance on your house due to weather. Okay, when you have a hot environment, which is again primarily in the summer months, sometimes it starts a little early, sometimes it ends a little late, well, you're going to have the sun beating down on your house. It can affect the paint. It can affect your outdoor furniture, like your patio furniture. If you have a pool, that's going to be an issue as well. We're going to talk about that in a second. you have to do certain, and I don't think it's a lot, I don't think it's hard, just a little bit of maintenance to make sure that your home is prepared for the summer. Now, this is going to be a factor in any desert, right? If you're thinking about moving to Phoenix, Arizona, or Scottsdale, Arizona, or anywhere in the desert part of Arizona, you're going to have to deal with the same thing. People who live in other states like New Mexico, they have similar issues. So I want you to be aware of that. Okay, item number 3. This is going to be for people who have swimming pools. You're going to need swimming pool maintenance. A lot of people here have swimming pools. It's very common. When you look at a satellite image, you'll notice a lot of people have pools, or at the least they have a jacuzzi. And you have to maintain that whether you're using it or not, okay? You can't just let the winter come and forget about your pool, right? You might need someone from a pool company to maintain your pool for you. And while that's not insanely expensive right now, just be aware that that's an expense you might have. You can maintain your own swimming pool, but you will need to apply like the required chemicals and things like that to make sure that your pool is maintained. So I don't want you to forget about that. It's a uniquely windy day today, by the way, and if you are going to be someone who has a pool, there might be some leaves blowing into your pool on a day like today. It's beautiful out. I mean, it is so beautiful today, but it gets a little windy from time to time. Don't forget, Las Vegas is in a valley. Okay, the next item I want to talk about when owning a home here in Las Vegas, pretty much no matter where it is, whether it's in Henderson, Las Vegas, Summerlin, Mountain's Edge, Southern Highlands, is something else you'll have to deal with as a homeowner or as a townhouse owner. And that item is having a homeowners association. A lot of the newer homes here, I mean a significant number of newer homes, and even those built more than 10 years ago, are in HOAs. That means homeowners association, right? That means that you will have to comply with the rules commonly known as C, and Rs that are required by the association. What could these rules be? Well, they could be simple things like you can't paint your house a color that's not approved. They don't want you painting your house purple or red. Who knows? That's one thing. There could also be rules about parking. For example, some associations have rules that say you cannot park in your own driveway. They don't want cars left in the driveway. They might make exceptions if you have too many cars, but they don't want you leaving things in your driveway and then parking all the cars outside. It actually makes a lot of the neighborhoods look really nice because you don't have a ton of cars parked on the street. So that's another sample rule. They might have rules like you can't have more than 3 dogs, or you can't have any non-domestic animals on your property. Like maybe you can't have, let's just pick an animal, a goat or a horse. There are lots of things people try to do, and I think a lot of the issues with dogs and cats, etc., are not a big deal for most people, but maybe it's something you're interested in. So your homeowners association might have just a variety of rules you have to comply with, and of course a monthly or quarterly fee that you have to pay. But in return, you might get some nice stuff. You might get some parks. You might have a clubhouse. You might have a community pool, a community jacuzzi, some playground equipment. You might have physical fitness like workout equipment. You might have all kinds of things that are provided by the homeowners association. Additionally, it seems to keep a lot of the neighborhoods orderly and clean. And that's why when you drive around a lot of these areas, you might think, wow, Las Vegas is so clean. And then when you go to an area where there's no association, it's from a different era, and there are a lot of just random freestanding homes that are laying out in no particular order, you might not see that. You might see multicolor homes. You might see chickens running around somewhere. Who knows what you're going to see? There's all kinds of different things you're going to see if you're going to a place that doesn't have an association. So for a lot of people, I feel like they instantly bring up a homeowners association as a negative thing. I don't always see it that way. When I drive some of these neighborhoods, I drive around, I'm always looking at houses, parks, fun places for me to go hiking, exercise. I want to see all the neighborhoods over and over. I just love the area. Well, When I go to the ones with the associations, I notice they have a lot of nice features. One additional nice thing you might get is a gate. A lot of people here want to live in a gated community. It's possibly a spin-off from how it was in California, where people, wanted to live in gated communities. But what's interesting here is you have a lot of gated communities, and if it's gated, that means it's probably in an association. So that's another thing you'll have to think about when you think about owning a place here. Now, if you're in a townhouse or a condo, that's going to have an association for a different reason. That might provide insurance, that might provide additional amenities, and that's a key word to ask yourself. Amenities. What amenities does the association have? And if the price is higher, it might be a result of having a golf club, right? Something like that. If you live inside of a golf club, there's a good chance, again, you're going to have an association. So put that on your list. All right. Okay, the next thing to factor in, which you're probably going to have in most states in America, is property taxes. Now, we are in a unique time right now because home values are changing faster than they have in other periods. Now, that doesn't mean I'm using a specific statistic or anything like that, but if you're watching housing prices rise right now, you can imagine that also causes property taxes to rise. So you want to familiarize yourself before you pick your place with the property tax rate and see how you can be affected by a significant increase. Now, at the same time, hey, that means your home is going up in value, right? So it's a positive that your home is going up in value, right? But at the same time, you might have to pay more in property taxes. So you'll probably have to deal with that in many states. Now, if you're thinking about where to move and you're trying to decide between Nevada versus, say, Florida versus Texas, well, the property taxes here are currently significantly less than Florida and Texas. So all three states have no state income tax, but you don't get punished with those high property taxes when you're here. It's a big deal. Like, seriously, if you were thinking about moving to Texas or Florida instead of Nevada because you're really interested in saving the state income tax, you really should look up how much the property taxes and insurance are in those states. So generally speaking, we don't have hurricanes here in Nevada either, right? So your homeowner's insurance could be more reasonable here than Texas or Florida. I like to point that out because it comes up in conversation because people bring up the tax-free states, meaning the states with no income tax. Okay, so those are just a few of the things I wanted to touch on in this video to tell you about home ownership here, reminding you about the warm summers, which will result in higher air conditioning bills. But if you get a newer home, like I said, although you'll have to run your air conditioning probably all day, when you have a newer home and it has better heat shielding and insulation, it can make a big difference. But these might be small factors to you, or might not be a big deal at all, or even something you're thinking about, and that's okay. But the key thing is, in my opinion, that you want to find the right house for you. And that's what our team wants to do, right? We want to help you find the place for you. Whether it's a house, a condo, a townhome, whether you're looking for vacant land and want to build something, there's so many options available. So even if you're looking for a brand new home and a brand new development, contact us, reach out to the team. We can help you. All you have to do, send me an email, send me a text message, give me a call on the phone, or schedule a call in the link below, right? We don't want to, we want to make sure that we speak to you at the right time. So you can pick the time that's right for you, and we can go from there. Of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn even more about living in Las Vegas, well, all you have to do is tap that little subscribe button and click that little bell so you'll be notified every time I put out a new video all about living here in Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, everyone, until the next video, take care. I'll see you soon.